Hi, boys and girls. We're going to take a look at some numbers and math together now. If you can look over here on my board, you'll see our new number that we've been talking about. What is that new number in the teen family? Let's see. I'll bring it a little bit closer. It's in the teen family, we know. It starts with the 1 and it has 2 digits. And the first digit is a 1. And that stands for teen. So it's in the teen family, and this one is pretty easy. We can just read it. 14, 14, kind of like reading a number. 14, 14. That's our newest teen number. We'll put that back up there. And some of the other numbers in the teen family are a little bit trickier. You just kind of have to know them when you see them. You can't really read them as easy as that 14. So this one is 11, right? 11. And then we have, it's in the teen family, but it has a different kind of name. It just says 12. It's not 2 teen, it's 12. That's kind of like a sight number. You just have to know it when you see it. 12. Then how about this one? Well, teen family. Let's see, do we say 3 teen? No, but it sounds a little bit like the beginning of 3. 13, 13, 13. And then that took us to the number 14. Well, today for our math, we're going to look at some graphs. So we're going to look for page number 73 and page 74. Here is page 73, and it has a graph for a park. 2 actual graphs. Okay, this is lesson 3.10. So get ready to look at these first pictures here on the front of your math paper today. And I'm going to read you a little story about these pictures. So turn up those listening ears. Let's see if Samantha's out. She might want to hear this little math story. Yep, she's out. All right, so listen well and look at your picture. So it says that the park was full of people because of the sunshine and the warm weather. Oh, maybe it's springtime or summertime. In one section of the park, Belle bounced her new ball. Her friend Marta asked if she and her 2 neighbors could play with Belle. Sure, I'd love to share and have fun playing together, said Belle. The 4 children happily played ball. On the other side of the park, kids were playing in a soccer game. So now we're looking at the picture that is below Belle's picture. We're looking at the one on the bottom. So on the other side of the park, kids were playing in a soccer game. Jamal and his friends from his school were playing on a team. The kids enjoyed running and cheering when their team scored a goal. What do you think they were playing? Soccer. Okay, now I have some questions for you. As you look at this picture, can you see the picture of Belle? Let's see if I can find Belle. Maybe is this Belle and her friends? So Belle and her friends, let's count and see how many children are playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 children playing ball in the top picture. So we're going to show this on our little graph. So we have a small graph here, and this graph is going from left to right. So this is called a row. Rows move from left to right, and they're going horizontal. That's a big word. Horizontal, from left to right. And remember how a graph is a way that we can show how much of something that we have, how we can put items or objects into groups or categories, and we can show how much of something that we have. So on this graph, we're supposed to be showing how many children are playing ball with Belle. How many children are playing ball with Belle? So we look at the picture and we count the children playing ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 children playing ball. So you start to shade that in your graph. Remember, this graph starts on the left and moves to the right. So we always start with the first open spot. So I'm going to get my marker and I'm going to shade in. I'll show you over here on this one. I'm going to shade in the first one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 children playing ball together with Belle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I shaded in 1 square for each child. I did 1 to 1. 1 child, 1 square. 1 child, 1 square. 1 child, 1 square. 1 child, 1 square. I showed 1 to 1 on my graph. And now I know easily by looking at my graph how many children were playing ball. 4. So now let's go to the next one. We read the little story about the picture below Belle's picture, and it was talking about playing soccer. Soccer. So this was a team of soccer players from their school playing together. So let's show how many are on the soccer team. How many are playing with the team? So we just look at the children and we count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I counted 6 children on the soccer team. Well, I want to show how many children are playing soccer on my graph. And again, my graph here is going in a row, horizontal, from side to side, left to right. So I always start at the first spot, and I'm going to start shading those in. How many did we say that we had? Well, let's look on the one I have right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to shade those in. 1. Remember, I started on the left with the first one that was open. We don't start somewhere in the middle. We don't start on the end. We start here at the beginning, the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, did I color in 1 square for each child on the soccer team? 1 to 1, let's see. 1 child, 1 square. 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 I did it. I showed 1 to 1 and I completed the graph. Now I know there are 6 players on that soccer team. When you look at this, can you see which group had more than the other group? I can kind of see just by looking. The graphs are the same size. This one is full, this one is not. So it looks like there are more children playing soccer than playing ball. Which graph has less than the others? There are less children playing ball than there are playing soccer. You can see that because there are empty spots on the graph. If we wanted it to be even, the same number of children playing ball and soccer, we would need to add how many more children playing ball? How many more would it take for it to be equal, the same number? 1, 2. We would need to add 2 more to make it the same number to equal it out. Okay, so we did the front of our graph. Now, let's do the back side. So you can turn your paper over and you're going to see a graph here, and it looks like maybe it's a city graph. Yeah, different things going on in the city, different things to look for the city. So make sure that you have page 74, the back side of your graph. And I'll put mine up here. Move that one. Count the objects and graph them. Okay, now on this side, we have our graph that looks like it's going a different way. So let me find another copy to show you right here. Here it comes. So here's my other copy, a picture of a city. And it has the graphs going up and down. These graphs are up and down. So that's called vertical when they're going up and down, like a line, straight up and down. These are vertical, and they're called columns. Columns are vertical, up and down. Columns. What are these called? Columns. And they are vertical. So underneath each vertical column, we have the pictures of what we want to graph. We want to show how many of each of these objects are in this picture. So the first picture is a picture of a brown door, a brown door. So you're going to go up in this picture and you're going to look for brown doors and count them. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. I see 3 brown doors in that picture. Is that all? Let me do another check. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to go on your graph and you're going to start shading in to show 3 brown doors. So if we look right here, here's my column, my vertical column going up and down. And I want to show how many brown doors. I always start at the bottom, the first spot, never at the top or anywhere in the middle. You start from the bottom and go up. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 brown doors. Now I can easily see how many brown doors there are in that picture. Okay, the next one has another column, vertical, going up and down, and it wants you to look for the school buses and show how many school buses there are. So let's see. I see 1. Those are cars. More cars. So I only see 1 school bus. So you go to the school bus column, start at the bottom, and you shade it in 1 time. 1 time. Okay. So I'm going to let you do this. I don't need to do it all for you. I want to see that you can practice it and do it on your own. After you do the buses, you'll be doing the green houses, just the green houses. I can see different colors of houses, but this wants me to show green houses in this column. And then the last one will be the cars. It looks like red cars. So you're going to look up in your picture and count the cars. And then some other things you can do after you finish your graph is to point out, you could even circle it like we sometimes do in school, which column, which object had the most. You could circle that column. Which column had the least amount of objects? You could circle that one. You could show the least. You could show the most. Okay? So I'm really sure that you guys can do this. We have practiced graphs and you've been getting better and better at your math and your graphing. And just, it's important to remember those new words that we're learning about graphs, how they show us how much of something that we have, how it groups things together by category, by object, that graphs can go in rows from left to right, horizontal, or they can go in columns up and down. They can go in columns, they can go in vertical graphs. Vertical, horizontal. Okay, those are some big new words for us, but you guys can do it. So you guys practice your math and then we'll get back together again. Bye-bye for now.